Hey, Caleb here, the founder of Patriot Training Center, and today I am once again going back to the fanny pack. Alright, so in a previous video on this channel, I went ahead and I reviewed a couple different fanny pack solutions and showed you the one that I'm really digging right now, which is the Shield Arms fanny pack. And I explained why I like this so much, because it has a different opening mechanism than any of the other fanny packs where you have to zip them open. Instead, this one you just pull the front of this whole thing down, and it's held by magnets and Velcro on the side. And it's a very, it's a more intuitive and more similar draw to carrying inside the waistband, which is the way that most of us practice and carry. And I mentioned that I really like this fanny pack so far, and I showed you a couple dry fire draws, but no live fire range footage. Today I have some live fire range footage for you. I took it out to the range because I wanted to put it to the test and see exactly how fast I can get a draw to first shot out of this fanny pack. So I went and I did some speed mode practice where basically, like the name implies, I'm practicing speed. Basically just to get to see like how fast I could get the gun out of this and get that first shot on target, all right? So I filmed that video at the range and we'll check it out now. All right, that was 106. Right. And that was 0.95, okay? So looks like it's definitely achievable to get sub-second from concealment from this type of fanny pack, which is pretty cool. But again, this is like speed mode practice, so the speed is what we're practicing here, and the hits on the target aren't as important. That said, we got a couple of those in the A zone there, in between getting rained out here. All right, so these were high in the A zone, okay. A couple things I think are important to mention about this before we get ahead of ourselves. Drawing with this, there's some safety concerns. So normally if you're drawing from concealment, you're lifting the cover garment out of the way with either your support hand by itself, if it's appendix, or, you know, if it's side carry. So you're doing it with just one hand, and you're getting the cover garment out of the way up here. So your hand automatically comes to that, your support hand comes to that like safe spot for it to be, so that when you draw the pistol from here or from here, then it meets here, right? And your hand's out of the way and not getting yourself in trouble there. But so with this fanny pack type draw, because you're not pulling up with the cover garment, instead you're pushing down, right? So I think there is a very important point here to make about safety. If I'm pushing down, then there could be, as I'm drawing the gun, I could flag my hand if I'm like rushing up with the support hand to meet it. I could muzzle myself, right? Which is, no, that's what we don't want to do, right? That is very important. So in dry fire, what I've been trying to do is basically like over-exaggerate this motion here and like peel my hand off to the side. And then as I'm coming up here, normally count 3 in the draw stroke, you know, the 4-count draw stroke, where our hands are meeting and our support hand meets, and then kind of over-exaggerate that and then meet back really quickly. Sometimes I miss my grip because I'm trying to go so fast and get it back there, and it's a little different draw stroke, but pretty similar to like appendix inside the waistband. But I do think that's a modification that should probably be taken into consideration if you're doing fanny pack drawing. Now, if you got a zipper or something, that's going to be a different type of deal, and it kind of depend on how the zippers are set up. Basically, in dry fire, figure out, hey, when am I, you know, is there a potential here to muzzle myself? But that's what I kind of noticed with this one, because you're pushing down. Now your hand's got to come up, possibly where the muzzle is. So I'm trying to get it out of the way to the side and then meet it here, okay? The other things that I notice is when I'm trying to go fast with this thing, I can miss this little loop here, which is what they put there, so you can grab it and you can pull down on it. And it's a pretty good little loop, and you can't really tell that it's there, which is great for concealed carry, right? Because people aren't supposed to know that this is a concealed carry fanny pack. So cool. If it was a little easier to grab a hold of, maybe you wouldn't miss it, but I'm not sure how you do that and kind of keep it like concealed or whatever. But anyways, so that's a very important part of it. So I have missed that before, so that's something that you have to practice. So the starting position for your hands, whether it's hands at side or hands up, like in a get away from me type deal, fencing kind of position. All right, that was 102. And I have had that happen a few times, which I think is important to note. These are magnets that are holding this in at the top. And occasionally, when I'm really speeding up the draw stroke there, I'll catch the magnet on the slide of the gun. So that's something to consider as well. I think if I push down and I try to keep that pinned for longer, then that'll kind of fix that problem. That was 101. Another thing that you could do, which is a lot of guys with like appendix inside the waistband will do what they call a cheater draw, where they're just standing here with their hands, and their support hand is like holding their cover garment. And this is like a natural position for a lot of people to stand, right? I stand this way all the time in public, and then you have that hand on the cover garment, and it's a very quick draw. Just pull it out of the way and go to work with the gun. So you can do the same thing with this. You could have your finger looped in here on the fanny pack, and then you're going right for the gun right away. All right, now we're gonna do a little cheater draw, like we're just hanging out with our hands on the fanny pack. That was 0.96. So yeah, there's definitely different ways to skin the cat. Again, this is probably my favorite fanny pack design that I've experienced. It's super fast, as we're seeing here in the video today. So I'm going to keep working with it and trying different hand positions, and that's pretty much what we're doing. The point here is this fanny pack is pretty cool. I like it so far. I think there are some important safety issues that you have to work through. And again, we're doing speed mode here, so the practice. But for right now, just to test the limits of the speed. About the hits on the target, and there you go. But then you find a level where your actual performance is. So I like it, and hopefully this helps you out. In dry fire, then I'm coming here to the range. In dry fire, then I'm coming here to the range. This thing is actually true, and then a free dry fire program in the description. So check it out.